Hey guys, Kim here from Kim on a Whim. In today's video, I am jumping right into taking down Halloween decorations. Halloween is way over at this point. We had our party, we had Halloween night, so now it's time to get everything kind of wipe the slate clean before we get ready for the Christmas holidays. But I am going to enjoy this little bit of a declutter house until I have to put up Christmas decorations. I may have already gotten one big Christmas item, which I will show you later on in the video. And as I'm taking down stuff this week and thinking about my week that has just passed, I get a song that keeps popping into my head, and it's called Spinning Wheel by Blood, Sweat, and Tears. If you don't know it, go check it out. It's a really good song, and it really sums up what my week was this past week. I will go in a little more into that. I don't want to kind of get on here and be a Debbie Downer per se, but let's just say it was not a good week.
Hey, do you remember 20-something years ago? Those cold nights in December and the sound of the falling snow, the fireplace warming us, the VHS movie box, your old broke down touring bus, and not a single cloud in the sky. If I could go back in time, I'd pack my bags right now. If I could play back, rewind, I wouldn't think twice. A pair of jeans and a dusty shirt, we didn't have a dime. No, you and me were poor as dirt.
The lights and houses that were over the cabinets are all down. Now I'm just going to move on to this side of the room. Everything that I take down, I'm just going to put it on the kitchen table. That way, when we bring boxes down, kind of just pack everything up, wrap stuff up that we need to. Candles will stay down here. I'll just tuck them away in the hall closet, just because it gets so warm in the attic during the summer that it melts the candles. We have a lot of candles that had to get tossed just because although they would have worked for Halloween, they did look kind of creepy, but we'll just keep them protected down here. I'm going to take down all of our bats. This year, for some reason, we did a bat theme. I don't know what our Christmas theme will be. Not that we necessarily do a Christmas theme, but we'll have to see.
Twice, a pair of jeans and a dusty shirt, we didn't have a dime. No, you and me were poor as dirt, all we had was time. All we had was time. Every bad thing and every good, I wouldn't change it if I could, 'cause it all led us up to this. Every moment, every kiss. If I could go back in time, I'd pack my bags right now. If I could play back, rewind, I wouldn't think twice. A pair of jeans and a dusty.
Now, I thought I had all of the bats down until I lit that lamp there and realized, oh, okay, I forgot something. It wasn't until days later, though. My husband is very happy that I cleared off everything in front of his TV, so that's all gone. That was my paper doll costume that I did for this year. I like to do something homemade that's really cheap, and that literally was a roll of wrapping paper and two foam boards from the Dollar Tree. So really cheap costume. I do have to get this spider down, and anybody who is vertically challenged, you know how this all goes. There's a little hook there, but I couldn't get it to I was trying to just kind of toss the spider so that it would come off of the hook. That wasn't working. So then I'm like, oh, I'm going to grab this little wand off of the blinds. And then I'm like, you know what, that's just going to be a bad idea because I'm not going to be able to get that back on. So Kitty's toy to the rescue to help me try and get the spider. off of the ceiling.
24/7, you call my name, and I will come running, yeah, every day. 24/7, yeah, every day. I will come running, babe. Every day.
Going through the hall and just taking down the floating hats and candles. However, the Halloween pictures will stay up until we do our Christmas pictures. Once we can get everybody on a night where we're all together and off, we'll be able to get those done. That should be coming up soon.
Since I let you in under my skin, I'm more free than I have ever been. You broke my chains and released me, and days turned into nights on the couch in your apartment. No, I am not the same. Everything has changed every day. 24/7, you call my name, and I will come running, yeah, every day. 24/7, yeah, every day. I will come running, babe.
Well, that kind of sucks. One casualty. At least it wasn't like one of the big pieces, but it still kind of sucks.
And days turned into nights on the couch. No, I am not the same. Everything has changed every day. 24/7, you call my name, and I will come running, yeah, every day. 24/7, yeah, every day. I will come running, babe.
Okay, so last I left off, most of the Halloween decorations are all down. We have some candy left here. Costume that we're done with, I think, has to get tossed. I may have stopped at Home Depot for something. We'll catch that later. So I got to clean up the kitchen table. That's stuff from last night. That's all washed. I do have dishes. That's all washed to be put away. I do always have laundry, recycles to get put away. I have to take some trash out. And I just got to go over this stuff here. So let's get started on this day.
I got this boy on my mind that I can't live without. Oh, his eyes are killing me, and he keeps talking about everything that he likes, and I can't stop listening.
Okay, so while I'm doing dishes, I'll kind of go over this week's events. Monday, we decided we were going to go get a new tree. We had our tree that was up last year for 25 years, completely outlasted any expectations of, what typically stuff does last for. 25 years was a good run. We certainly got our money's worth out of it. So we decided this was the year we were going to get a new tree. We didn't get the viral tree, which everybody is posting about. But we did get one. I saw that tree like 2 years ago, absolutely loved it, but didn't get it. And I'm like kicking myself now that I didn't get it. But the tree that we got just recently at Home Depot is absolutely beautiful. But that day, we get home, we were going to put the tree up, see how we liked it. Greg and Mia were sitting in the front room. They were watching a movie. Nick and I were in the kitchen. We were getting dinner together because we got home. It was a little later that day. So we were like, all right, let's get something quick to eat and then we'll deal with the tree. And while we're doing our thing, we hear a loud bang. And we're like, oh man, somebody must have just had an accident. Only to realize when Mia looks out our front window that the people that had accidents were us. Not us in the car physically, but somebody took the corner either too fast, too wide. I don't know exactly what they did, but they wound up hitting Nick's car that then pushed into Mia's car. So now we have Nick's car in the shop since Wednesday. It's now Sunday and we still haven't heard anything. I don't think that's going to be a good news coming our way. Mia's car, however, we took it the next day to make sure she was able to drive it, that everything was okay. Our mechanic said yes, ordered some parts. Hers will go in the shop to get fixed. A lot of cosmetic, a little inside, I think something with the radiator, but all is good. However, Nick's car, on the other hand, I have a feeling they're going to tell us that it was totaled. My husband said it was totaled when he first looked at it. He was a mechanic for years, and the tow truck driver said the same thing. So I'm assuming that's the news that they're going to come back with. The silver lining of this is that nobody was hurt. We weren't in our cars. The guy that hit the car, although, shaken up by the whole thing, he was not hurt, injured in any way. We multiple times asked him if he wanted ambulance or something, asked him if he hit his head or banged up against the side of the door or anything, and he said he was fine. Cops came, took the report, towed his car. The next day, we got the ball rolling on what the deal is with our car. So really sucks, but at the end of the day, nobody is hurt, and that's the most important things. Cars can be repaired, replaced. It's just a possession, but people, as long as people don't get hurt, that's the most important thing.
You blow my mind. I don't know if you know yet what's all around, and I'm dying to tell you. Well, I know that by now it is obvious, and that maybe I'm wasting my time, but I gotta try. The only reason I keep sneaking.
Okay, so I'm going to start out with my ShopRite haul. I did grab some snacks. I'm trying to limit the amount of snacks that I bring in. These pop chips are so good. Such a small bag though. Grabbed up some of the flat pretzels. We can dip those in tzatziki and anything like that. Did grab up some pasta. I want to make some lasagna roll-ups and then just have pasta on hand so that I'm not running to the store what feels like every day to grab this or that or the other. I'm doing some potatoes and onions. I want to make a beef stew using the V8 juice here and a little beef bouillon, and we'll just do some rye bread with that. Grabbed up some apples, love the Granny Smith apples, some carrots and garlic. I kept forgetting garlic every time I went to the store, so I finally got it. Now I have garlic. Did grab up some of the canned tomatoes. We use this a lot along with some orange juice and chicken broth. We use both tomatoes and chicken broth a lot. Grab some frozen fries, the cheese raviolis, some bacon, some cheeses. So we like to put that on our salad. Some will go with the lasagna I'm going to make. Some of this Activia yogurt. That's been really good with a little granola lately. Loving this Chobani coffee creamer. I have the mint one right now and it is so good. Also grabbed a pineapple because they were on sale. So that's my quick ShopRite haul. I love these little frozen raviolis that you're seeing here for a quick, easy dinner. So there's just kind of an overview. I spent $118 on all of this stuff. And then here's my Sam's Club haul. I grabbed some manicotti, I grabbed some madeleines, and then I was in the mood for ham, so I grabbed this little Carver ham for one night. I grabbed some pork chops, some beef stew meat, and the thin sliced chicken, always great for dinners, and chicken wings. I spent about a $140 here, but I also bought toilet paper and tacos. The last stop that I made was Target, and I grabbed up this little stocking for the cat for Abernathy. I saw these joy plates. I knew come Christmas time I wouldn't be able to find them, so I grabbed them now. We're hosting Christmas. I did find these picks in the dollar spot. They were $3. I saw these on Uniquely Lisa's channel. She did a beautiful arrangement with them, so I grabbed those. I did find this candle here. It is a soy candle. I have not been burning any of my candles, so since this is soy, I think this is a little safer. And then this little tree. It didn't have anything on it when I grabbed it. It's just a flocked tree. I think this was $5. And then also these little mini ornaments were $5 for this little tube. Nick loved the flock tree when we were shopping for the tree, but I wanted something a little more traditional. And then this he can just put on his desk and have that lit whenever he wants. the next day now, and I'm moving on to the much needed laundry that I have to get done. I have stuff in the dryer, I had stuff in the washer, I had stuff I needed to get into the washer because Mia needed her work clothes and they weren't done yet. So I was kind of pressed for time, and this was in the dryer, I think from a day before. So I just touched it up and wanted to get this all folded before it got wrinkled yet again.
It breaks my heart, no text, no calls from you. It's like you could shape this up, but you're not that tough with me. So run away with me, come home with me tonight. Run away with me, it'd be worth the time. Run away with me, I'll make you feel alright. Run away with me, and I'll be good this time around. I'll be good this time. I'll be good this time. I'll be good this time. Don't say we're drifting apart, I can't stand to see you with another. Oh, I know I once broke your heart, but I still love you like I do. Love you like I do. Oh, it breaks your heart, no text, no calls from me.
So, like I said, I had stuff in the washer. Of course, I have to clear off my washer to get to it. Luckily, the towels passed the smell test. It's very rare when you leave towels in the washer overnight that they'll pass the smell test. And I was even checking the ones that were like way down in the bottom. Somehow they weren't funky. So I just threw them in the dryer because, like I said, pressed for time, I needed to get Mia's work clothes done. And I just felt like this whole week I was just off. Like everything felt like it was all behind or just wasn't working out right. I don't know if I need to like burn some sage or I need to do the blow on cinnamon out my door. I think it's in my door. Maybe that's the problem. I'm doing that the wrong way. But it was just one of those weeks where nothing was working out right.
Maybe I was blind, known you forever while I tried to find someone that could be my great love. Right in front of me, I didn't realize you were my dream. So you took me by surprise. Oh yeah, even in my wildest dreams, I didn't think we were destined to be. And now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like oh yeah, wanna give you every part of me.
If only wash and drying can get done this quick, but I am going to take all of the towels out. They're all finished. I tried making this in one trip. It just didn't work. I will actually almost hurt myself trying to not make 2 trips on stuff. You know, we ain't one of those 2-trip bees. You, I'm sure, have seen that. But now I'm going to get the stuff that's in the washer so that Mia can have some clean clothes. The costume has finally made it to the back where it'll go into the recycle bin. It's all made from a cardboard box and construction paper, so everything's recyclable on that. Just switching over the laundry, and then I'm going to get to the kitchen.
Even in my wildest dreams, I didn't think we were destined to be. And now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like oh yeah, wanna give you every part of me. I can't believe this is real.
I do have an update on the cord wraps that I bought from Temu. I will put that video above here where I went through my laundry slash pantry room and kind of did a declutter, reorganize, and I bought some of these little cord wraps from Temu that I used on the Ninja Foodie. I used it on my stand mixer and grinder. So far on the Ninja, it's a no-go. It fell off just sitting up on the rack that I have it. The grinder I did use and it did work on that so far. I haven't pulled out my stand mixer, but we'll see how that works when I do take that out for Christmas cookies. Now I'm just going to move on to getting my stove all cleaned off. I wanted to do this yesterday, just didn't get around to it, so getting to it today. And that's just it. Like things that I can't control this week, I have to give myself grace and say, just didn't get to it, and I will get to it the next day. However, I did use the hack that I see a lot of people use, which is the dishwasher tab to clean the grates, and that worked really well.
You hear them calling, shouting your name. Turn up the collar and walk away. Feels like you're falling, now who is to blame? Wishing you'd only be more like them. Over and over, you cry yourself to sleep. And you're colder, much colder. If only you could see. Don't you know that you're beautiful? Just the way you are, just the way you came. Don't you know that you're beautiful? No matter what the scars, no matter what they say, and we'll shout it out.
Stove is nice and shiny, grates are all clean, time to put everything back together. And it wasn't until Greg came home later this day that he's like, I think one of these are backwards, and the middle grate, I put it on backwards. Again, just one of those weeks I was having. Gonna burn this candle, try and find some peace and inner calm. I did cut the wicks just so I wouldn't get so much of a soot from the candle. We're just gonna let that burn a little and try and bring in some calm and soothing vibes. Okay, so this is kind of a one-pot meal, beef stew. This is the beef that I got from Sam's Club. And then we're going to do some celery, carrots, potato, onion, garlic, little V8 juice with beef bouillon. We need flour, Italian seasoning, pepper, salt. Okay, so we're going to put flour, salt and pepper, Italian seasoning, plastic bag, and we're going to coat all of this with the flour mixture. Okay, so we're going to start with about a half a cup to a cup of flour, depending on how much you're making and how many beef cubes you have. I tend to measure with the heart. I really don't have exact measurements for anything, but kind of eyeballing everything to see how much I'll need. I'll do 2 pinches of salt, and then I'll also do 2 pinches of pepper, and then I'm going to give a good shake of the Italian seasoning and then shake everything up to get it incorporated. Then I'll start adding the beef cubes, not too many because you do want to get everything pretty well coated. Once you get everything in there, you shake that up again, coat everything, and then put it onto a paper plate or a regular plate and do your next batch.
You invite me and then you turn me down. Get my hopes up and then...
I like to shake off any of the excess flour on the beef cubes. If you put more flour, it'll make your stew a little thicker. So depending on how you like it, you can keep all the flour on there. We like it a little more loose and not quite as thick.
It's always the same story with you, but I just cannot refuse you. I'm sad after this time that I'm out that you leave me with this rush. Why am I so curious? So curious, so curious. So curious. So curious. Your friends have told me just to give you time. Weekends.
Once you've coated all of the cubes, you're going to use a little bit of olive oil in the pan, and I put butter in because I know olive oil has a low smoking point, so the butter will help that. And now I'm going to give you a little sizzle of everything cooking. Depending on how much you're making, you want to do that a few times. You don't want to overcrowd the pan. Chop up everything while you're browning the beef cubes. That way you'll be ready for the next step, which is to put everything into the pan. Don't worry about the brown bits, because as the onions and vegetables cook down, you'll be able to scrape all of that, and that's just going to give it more flavor. While the carrots, celery, and onions are cooking in the pot, we're going to chop up some potatoes for our next step. Those can just sit off to the side for now. We're going to add the V8 juice. I used a 46-ounce container of it, and then we're also going to put in some bouillon. I had this Better Than bouillon paste. I did 3 teaspoons of that. I personally like the little cubes. You're going to use 3 of those if you have the cubes. Mine expired. Greg had to run to the store. It is what it is. Now we're just going to put everything in the pan except the potatoes, because we're going to cover that and let that simmer for about an hour. Depending on how thick you make your carrots will depend on your time. Mine were pretty thick, so I let them sit for an hour before I put the potatoes in. Once you put your potatoes in, you're then going to cover it again and let it simmer for about 45 minutes longer. You want your carrots tender, but you don't want your potatoes mushy. And if you put the potatoes in all at the same time, they're going to get really mushy and start to break apart. You want the potatoes to be soft, but not mashed potatoes, if that makes sense. I hope you guys try this recipe. If you do, let me know how it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.